Hey everybody, this is Mackie. I had a thought about shunning. Now, I don't know what's worse. Like an actual real death of a loved one or a family member, or a quote unquote spiritual death where you don't talk to them or they don't talk to you anymore because of a difference of belief, or if one has left the organization and they treat you as if you're dead. I don't know what's worse. I think treating someone as if they're dead is worse than somebody that actually is dead. Like, both of my parents are deceased, and yes, I miss them terribly because they are no longer alive, right? But I think it feels and it stings even harder when you have parents that you know are alive, but they treat you as if you don't even exist anymore. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. You know, they don't understand the psychology, the damage, the mental damage that this does to a person. They ought to know that it's torture. You know, if you leave a person, like, for example, solitary confinement, okay? And I know being disfellowshipped is nothing like solitary confinement, because if you're disfellowshipped, at least you can still talk to other people. But for a lot of people, what does it matter when they can't even talk to the people that they love? You know, but like I was saying, people who go through solitary confinement come out just a mess. A mess. You know, they isolate you thinking that that's gonna work. That's gonna teach them. No, it ain't gonna do nothing but make them even more delusional, and even more crazy, and even more depressed, and even more suicidal than if you had to just try to just help them out without isolating them. That's not good. Studies have even shown that babies who don't get touched or loved by their parents, newborn babies, a baby that's loved, touched, hugged, kissed all the time will thrive. A baby that doesn't get touched, doesn't get kissed, doesn't get loved, yeah, you feed them, yeah, you change the diaper, you know, but you don't hold them, you don't play with them, you don't, you know, that's the baby that could end up suddenly dying from whatever, SIDS, whatever, I don't know, compared to the baby that was loved. This has been proven. Isolation is not good for human nature. And I'm not talking about somebody that's introverted. I'm not talking about, I keep to myself. Okay, that's a choice. That's a choice. But when you decide you want to make a choice as to not believe in the doctrine anymore, that's when they choose for you not to talk to your family members again. That's control. This is how they control their members. Oh, so you wanna have premarital sex, huh? And not be repentant, huh? You wanna take blood, huh? I don't know why I'm sound. I sound like juvenile right now. Like, oh, you want to do that? Okay. We just gonna snatch your family away from you. That'll teach you, and you'll be begging and coming back to us. That's so narcissistic of them to even come up with that policy, this fellowship policy. But how else were they going to keep their members? See, they were panicking because after 1975 prediction failed, people were leaving that religion like drones, like hotcakes or something. And they were just leaving in large amounts. And they're like, whoa, hold our horses, hold the horses. That's why they came up with that policy. They were like, oh, no. We got to retain our members. So if you want to leave, that means you are excommunicated and nobody can talk to you. Now, the real reason they started doing this fellowship and thing was because of the apostates. It didn't really have anything to do with people outside of the religion. It had everything to do with the apostates trying to wake up their members from this indoctrination. Now, if people were to get this fellowship and they never said anything about it and it was just is what it is, you know, it wouldn't even be no reason for this fellowship. If you decide you just don't want to be a witness anymore and don't speak the real truth about the truth, this fellowship probably wouldn't even be a thing. But knowing Watchtower, knowing that what they're teaching their members is a lie, they tell you not to talk to other Jehovah's Witnesses because some of them may still be physically out, mentally in, but then there's a lot of them that get this fellowship who are physically out, mentally out, and those are the ones that Watchtower is afraid of. Those are the ones that Watchtowers are afraid that Jehovah's Witnesses might listen to if they ever, get over that fear of, oh my goodness, Jehovah's gonna strike me dead if I look at this material on the internet that they've been just telling you for years, avoid apostate-driven lies. When it's actually apostate-driven truth, about the truth. And they're scared that you're going to really know some real stuff. Because once you find something out, there's no unknowing it. Once you realize something is fake, ain't no going back. When kids find out that Santa Claus is fake, there's no going back. There's no going back to that. When I found out that everything that they did, they have so many just evil cover-ups of, child molestation cases and this and that and the third. There's no way I could go back. Like, you can't unlearn what you learn. I don't understand. It's like, oh, those are lies. No, they're not. It's proven it to be the truth. You've got, your governing body members are just so, ugh, You got Samuel Hurd talking about women's brains are smaller than men's, so that's why they should submit to the man. You've got Tony Morris. Oh my gosh. That's the problem child right there. He buys hundreds of dollars worth of liquor at the liquor store. And I've had people comment on my video about Tony Morris. Oh, he could have been just buying something for a party or a group of, missionaries or a group, or, just buying alcohol for the other governing body members, which they all got beer bellies. There's not one skinny governing body member. Have you noticed that? Anyway, you've got, Tony Morris buying up all the alcohol at the liquor store. You know, he don't like skinny jeans. I'm starting to think he actually does. Tight pants. I actually think he likes the tight pants. You know? The higher... He's talking about the highest education, which is higher than, you know, master degree, bachelor degree. The highest education. Okay. What else did that boy say? Oh, the burning of human flesh that he seen while he was, you know, serving. He talking about it's equivalent to burnt hot dogs. I'm like, he clearly has untreated, undiagnosed PTSD. He's just using it to, you know, he's using his PTSD to scare others into staying in the organization. I could go on and on about everybody on here. Who else? Oh, Geoffrey Jackson. Lying under oath. The guy told him, you guys are God's only spokespeople for, you know, on earth, right? And this is exactly what Watchtower teaches. Is that I don't want to say it. Is that Jehovah's Witnesses are the only true religion. And so what does that mean? Yes, that means that you're the only true spokesperson for God. What does the governing body member, which is supposed to be next to Jesus Christ, pretty much a step down from Jesus Christ, what does this boy say? He says, oh, it will be presumptuous for us to say that we were the God's only spokespeople on earth. That was not what he freaking asked you. He asked you, do you claim to be God's spokespeople on earth? He should have just said yes or no. Let's see if he had said no. That would have just startled a lot of witnesses. But you know, a lot of witnesses don't even know about the video anyway. They only know about it if they're curious to know what else is there besides this. You know, that's what got me started getting curious. Like, is this all there is? Really? Really? And I started getting curious. I'm like, what do those fellowship people have to say? Curiosity led me right out of the organization, too. Well, I'm still in, but mentally, I was just like, okay, yeah, that's it. Then you got Stephen Lett, who is a homophobic. His nephew ended up committing suicide because of his homosexuality. He thought something was wrong with him because the organization tells you that homosexuality is a sin and men who lie with men, quote unquote, will not inherit God's kingdom. And a lot of people who are gay tend to be depressed, especially in the truth. They're like, oh my goodness, Jehovah, please fix me. I'm not fixed. I still have these gay feelings, and if I can't stop having these gay feelings, these feelings for the same sex, I'm just gonna go ahead and commit suicide because Jehovah don't love me anyway. You know. So, yeah, I had to make a rant about these governing body members, man. And you wanna tell people to shun to shun their family members because they don't want to be witnesses no more. That is the cruelest thing you could ever do. You don't understand the mental damage that does to people. Or maybe you do know and you're just being sadistic. That organization is sadistic. They get off on people's misery because they got them under control and they like that control. They love it. They don't care if you're miserable or not. Do what I say or you're gonna get kicked out. It's like a freaking gang initiation. So, like when you get baptized, it's like you got initiated into a gang. Try leaving and see what happens. Try leaving a gang and see what happens. You'll get damn near killed. It's just Jehovah's Witnesses is just like that. That instead of killing you physically, they kill you spiritually, which I think is just as bad. I think it's just as bad because it can lead to suicide. So you can still physically die. That's how terrible this is. Anyway, this is Mackie, P.I.M.O J.W. Jones. It's just a thought I had for the evening. Question everything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Love you all, and peace.